Hello there, Libra. Welcome to your August forecast. I hope that this month is getting off to a great start. Before we begin the video today, I want to just allay any sort of concerns that you might have about the format change last month. Based on all of your feedback and comments and emails, I'm going to return to what I've been doing in the past. That means the length will be longer. It'll be about 25 to 30 minutes. And I will be showing cards throughout the entire video. What I was trying to do was to give you a feeling for how it might be to have like a one-on-one reading, or just to kind of move more towards an intuitive download. Believe it or not, when I began, they used to be that length, and I have expanded them over the years to include a lot more. So as part of the sort of organic growth process, I like to try new things. So don't panic if I try new things from time to time. That's how these got to the place that they are right now. You have to always take risks. A risk or two, I should say, to grow. So that's all I was doing last month. I was happy to hear, however, that you really did enjoy all of the intuitive development videos. So I plan on continuing that series. Like I said, I have a crystals video that I'll do soon, and then I'd like to do a Q&A. And in addition to that, because of the amazing interest that you guys put out there last month in cards, I think what I'm going to do in the coming weeks and months is to start to review some of my favorite decks. I see repeatedly questions about all of the Oracle decks and all the Tarot decks, and I can't answer each one, but what I can do is highlight ones that I think are important, and then you'll be able to go to those reviews and figure out which decks that I'm using. So that's something that's coming in the months ahead. Now, if you like the fact that I'm going back to the old format, which is a lot more work, but I know it's worth it because you guys appreciate it. And if you like all of these new videos that I'm doing, just realize it all takes time and energy and resources. So if you can, it would be a great time to donate, and I have a lot of ways to do that. As little as $1 goes a long way. If you're interested, the link is right below the video and above the comments section. It'll be the second one, and it simply says donate. If you're not in a place where you want to do that, or it doesn't feel like something that's organic to you, please do consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. That's another way to support me and grow the channel. Okay, with that being said, now let's take a look at your channeled information. Every month when I tune into each sign, I listen to what's coming through, and then I do something that's called automatic writing, which is basically just taking a pen to paper, seeing what comes out. And as I was doing both of these things for you this month, I received this message. Basically, what you're going to be focusing on is, it's a little bit of a purge or a release. So I said, out with the old, in with the new. This is a month of reinvention. First, you need to let go of the past, however. And the word trappings came to me. So back in the day when I used to just put a single word on an index card, that would probably be the word that I would have chosen for you this month. And it's interesting because they're like little trivial items that you might keep in your life, or things that you've sort of pulled into your space or into your being. And the root of that is trap. And sometimes we get trapped by the things that we've purchased, the situations that we've aligned ourselves with, all of the stuff around us. And so a great way to sort of get through that is to let go of stuff. It's not an accident that sometimes when people break up, they cut their hair. They want to just remove the connection between them and the past. And your hair is with you for a long time, especially if you have long hair. I'm not saying cut your hair. I'm saying maybe take a look around you and see, are there items in your life, something that someone gave you that you no longer feel a connection to that person or that thing, but you're just kind of keeping it because you feel bad? See if you can maybe give it to charity, or have a garage sale, or give it to someone else in your family. Reduce some of those trappings in your life, and then you're going to be freer to do new things. You're just going to feel lighter energetically. You may even feel more energy coming into your life. So this can be, again, thoughts, clothing, belongings, and sometimes even people and situations in your life. All of these things can either lift you up or pull you down. Tune into your own intuition and decide sort of item by item what's doing what in your life and if it should stay. Okay, so kind of taking inventory. Now let's take a look at the cards. I'm sure you're very happy to see this coming back, so I'm going to turn the camera down and we'll give this a good shuffle. At this point, I always like to remain quiet just to sort of observe where the cards are falling, what's coming through as far as messages as well. So let me do that, and then I will regroup as soon as I've pulled everything. In addition to what I've just laid out in front of us, I like to use one more card. This is the Catalyst. The Catalyst is a connective thread. It's also a way to maximize the energy, sometimes even avoid a situation. So let's see what the Catalyst has to say this month. You received the Frog card in reverse. Let's just turn it upright so we can look at it while I talk. For me, the Frog is a fantastic card because I see it as a quantum leap or a push or a shove, depending on what the universe has in store for you. So some of you may be in a place where things haven't been working out. You notice all this rain here on top of the Frog. What happens when this totem comes in for me is something opens up that pushes you out of the fog, the funk, sometimes even a little bit of a depression, and all of a sudden things change. This can be a gentle sort of nudge or a gentle leap where someone comes in to help. They just see that you need assistance and they help you out. It could be a new person coming into your life. It could be a surprise situation that makes you change things. Now, the surprise could be good, chance for promotion, for travel, for new money coming in, or it could be something uncomfortable. Someone could come to you and say, we need to talk about this. So it could be an intervention. It could be something like a loss of property. Through a natural disaster, through theft or something like that. Again, that little shove to get you into a place where maybe you didn't need that anymore, or maybe there's a blessing that comes from that loss, something better comes in. And that's what I want you to think of this month. There may be a resistance to, well, why did I have to move from this space? I was comfortable. Because the universe wants you to move. And so this is a precursor. I don't see it here this month, but it may come up next month, depending on what you guys do. This is a precursor to a tower event. So see this with a little bit of gratitude and as an opportunity to get yourself on a better path, on a better track, so that all of the abundance, all of the opportunity that needs to come through can come through. Let's turn the camera down for a second just so you can see how the cards are arranged and what has made itself visible this month. There's a lot of energy surrounding money. Hard to see in this deck because things are illustrated a little differently. I'll pull each card up so you can see that. But there's a lot about money and a lot about the emotions this month. Right at the center, you have two cards that I want to highlight. We have the Page of Pentacles, or stones in this deck, and then it's crossed by the Two of Swords, or arrows, in this deck. Let me turn the camera up and we're going to talk about these two cards for a moment. Since they're smack dab in the center, this is going to sort of set the tone for what some of your opportunities are this month. So, Pentacles, particularly the Ace card, it's an opportunity. And it shows that your biggest opportunity this month is going to be around feeling more secure and more stable in your money. I like that this particular deck shows Pentacles as stones because it's something that should feel solid, dependable, and grounded. What's crossing this card is something that shows fear or instability with the money. And we have the Two of Swords, Two of Arrows. And you have to make decisions this month, possibly a really big decision. Some of you might have to spend a large sum of money and you're weighing that option. Some of you may be noticing that your money isn't where you want it to be. Either there's too much and you're not doing something with it, or there's not enough and you don't know how to make it sort of spread out. So you've got to make some decisions this month on how to better manage your money. Or for some of you, there could be a big purchase on the horizon and you're just trying to figure that out, like I said. Let's take a look now at past contributing factors that will be putting some sort of an impact on August for you. We have the Archer card, which in this deck is symbolizing the Chariot. And the Archer was in reverse. So when I see something like this in reverse and we think of a traditional tarot card, the Chariot, it has to do with modes of transportation. And so what I want you to take a look at the beginning of the month is look at your vehicles, anything that you own, a car, a boat, a motorcycle, a bike. Make sure that it's not overdue for maintenance. Make sure that it's in a secure location. Make sure your insurance information is all up to date. There may be something that happens this month or has already happened and you might need to take care of it. So a little bit of TLC is needed when it comes to mechanical things this month, but particularly vehicles, because that's what the Chariot symbolizes. Now, because in this deck, it also shows motion or momentum. What we're seeing is, I actually see an end to stagnancy. So because this card was reversed and all of the other cards around it are pretty positive. So what I'm seeing here is a shift. We also have the frog here. And so I see a shift now from a moment or a period where things may have not been going the way you wanted. If you take that leapfrog opportunity, things are going to improve. If you don't, like I said, there may be something that happens next month where you have to do it anyway. So be prepared to make some changes. This is definitely a month of reinvention and opportunity for you should you decide to go down that path. But there's something going on there with the movement at the beginning of the month, movement either in the vehicles or in your life, and you're going to have to pay special attention to that so that you can go through the rest of the month without being sort of pulled back by that moment that is happening. And again, for some of you, this might just be needing to balance things out. This can include just your work-life balance too, and that's a common thread that I've seen throughout all the cards this month, and in all the signs, I should say. It's interesting that we're talking about balance because as we look at your ego, we have temperance. In this deck, it's actually called out as balance. And what's important this month is that you feel a good sense of energetic balance within, particularly before you get into any sort of, I don't want to use the word arguments, but if there's any sort of negotiations or moments where you have to go up to bat and fight for yourself, I want to make sure that you are confident in what's going on, that you're not feeling hesitant, and that you're ready to take that action. So we'll talk more about that in a moment. So we just looked at the center, which again, it was the Two of Swords over the Ace of Pentacles. We looked at the Chariot in reverse here. And now as we're looking at recent past, and this is something that can still again affect week 1 or week 2 here, we have the Sun card. I love the Sun, but it is in reverse. And so what this card is suggesting that will help you with being successful this month, again, is focusing on yourself more than trying to fix problems externally. So it's not a card of being selfish. It's a card of really putting the accountability and responsibility within. And you'll notice that instead of kind of being around the solar plexus, this card shows the energy kind of punching out around the heart space. So if there's anything in your life that needs healing, particularly on a partnership or relationship front, this is the time to take care of that. I mention that because your outcome card shows the forest lovers, aka the lovers here, but the card is reversed. And it's interesting that we were talking about trappings earlier because this particular card shows them sort of intertwined here. And so for some of you, this could be a month of unraveling. For some of you, it could be a month of potentially getting into some sort of an engagement. Either way, you want to make sure that you understand what you're getting into or getting out of so that there are no surprises legally or otherwise, responsibility-wise. Your overarching card, your crowning card here is the Page of Stones or the Page of Pentacles. It is reversed. So we have two interesting, somewhat contradictory cards. The center card shows money coming in. The crowning card shows money coming out. And this is slightly higher than the money coming in. So this is a time where you may need a little bit of help. Some of you might be looking at liquidating an investment because it's not producing what it needs to produce. You might be selling a house, but there may be some extra costs that you didn't think of. You may be buying something and you either need a little bit more or you need to finance, or again, look at the contract. There could be some hidden things, some taxes, or the length of the contract, you end up spending more than you think you're going to spend. So that's where I want you to get really comfortable with all things money this month. Understand all aspects of it. It's going to put you in a good place. Let's go ahead now and look at near future, ego, and environment, because the three cards tell a story and I want to kind of unravel this for you. First, starting with what's here in the near future, and we have the Six of Cups. The card is reversed. So this is showing for many of you a chance to revisit some sort of a relationship that you have had in the past or someone that you have a long history with. It doesn't have to be a lover. It could be a family member. It could be a best friend. It could be a love interest or an ex. Now, the interesting thing here is it feels like the friendship or the relationship had a period of estrangement because the card was reversed. So what you have this month is a chance to either heal, release, or somehow revisit that relationship to decide if it's something you want again. And if we look at the cards here in the center, touching this, we have A very justice-like Two of Swords. Again, figuring out, is it for your better good? Are you getting something out of it? We have two ego-based cards here, the Sun and the Ace of Stones, or the Ace of Pentacles. When we look at the actual ego card, we have something that's showing balance here. This is Temperance, but it literally says balance on it, and it shows an intertwining of two energies. Then, in your environment, we have the Eight of Cups. So what is the story here? The story is, some of you may be in a cyclical relationship, something where a person comes in, a sort of habit or template kind of repeats itself, and then they leave, and then this cycle repeats. So if it's a good sort of repetition, if it's just like a relative that comes and goes, and when they come, it's great, and when they leave, you're okay with it, no problem. But if it's a lover or a friend, and they kind of come in and create this havoc-like environment, then this is your chance to think, is this something I still want? And it's more of a rhetorical question. The real question in that case is, am I ready to let this go? Because it may not always be leaving you with a sense of fulfillment or happiness. So it's an on and off relationship that currently feels like it's more in the off position, or that what you're receiving somehow isn't balancing out what you're giving. And if that's the case, then you know what you probably need to do, but it's up to you to make that step. And that could also be what this frog is trying to help you do, is to take that leap and to go into the unknown. Just a quick side note, I had to pause the video for a moment because I got what felt like a frog in my throat. My voice got hoarse. Because I'm empathic, sometimes when I'm reading things that'll happen. For some of you, it's about speaking your mind and letting the words come out. So whatever it is that you need to talk about this month, I highly encourage you to do it. Don't get choked up like I just did, because I felt like a tightening in my throat when I was looking at the frog and looking at the Eight of Cups. So for some of you, that's something to work on. Maybe practicing with someone that you love, writing it out, or finding another way to let them know what you think. Okay? As we look at opportunities this month, we have the Five of Pentacles. And in this card, it actually shows that you have what it takes to push through the challenges. So the little tiny word here says endurance here. It was hard to see. But when I see Five of Pentacles, for me, it's a chance for you to repair relationships in particular where one person feels left out. And sometimes this is like, it goes way back to your childhood, where maybe there was a parent or a sibling that somehow made you feel like the outsider. It could also be the relationship that I'm looking at, because all these cards are right around it. If this is the case, I want you to kind of recast yourself as not being the outsider, as being someone that has the power, the opportunity, and in some cases even the responsibility or the right to speak up and to be appreciated. So this is your chance to gain a sense of confidence, of self-worth this month. And I really encourage you to take advantage of that. When it comes to just general finances, the Five of Pentacles is a card that none of us really want to see, but I saw a lot of other positive money cards. So what I think here is, this is a card of managing something that's already happened. Again, it could be a loss of property, a debt, or some sort of situation that you need to get control over. And once you do it, you're going to be okay, because the outcome this month is the Lovers. It's reverse, which shows some delays, but ultimately, when we're looking at, can you get through that relationship issue that we talked about? Yes, you can, and you should feel okay when you're done. Can you get through the financial stuff? Yes, you can, and probably with the support of someone in your life. For some of you, it might be asking someone for help, and that's why I was feeling like a little bit choked up here. It's never easy, but sometimes it's the right thing if it can keep you afloat, if it can help you get to the next stage. And for some of you, it might just be deciding that it's time to let go of a lot of things, maybe selling off things that have not brought you any happiness, may have just brought you some financial weight, and this is a chance to get ahead by letting those go. Overall, this is a month of shifting, of moving, and of getting to a place where you feel happier and you understand that, wow, I really do have support and love and things around me that are going to kind of help lift me up. This Lover card doesn't always have to indicate you being in love, you meeting someone. It shows that if you put yourself out there in some way, shape, or form, that the universe is going to receive it, and usually in a very positive light. So it's actually a good time to, if you have a lawsuit or something that you're fighting for, that's good. Just remember, you have to know where you are, where you stand first before you try to fight. Because if you don't have that sense of belief in yourself, or if you feel less than, which is what the Five of Pentacles can show, then you're going to lose before you even get started. So sit with yourself a little this month, work on self-confidence, work on communication, particularly the throat chakra, and see if you can kind of clear the blockages in those areas. And then if you need to fight for something, you'll be ready to do that. When it comes to the throat, you can wear colors that are blue, and that works with that chakra. And in my future video, I'll talk a little bit more about that. Let's go ahead now and expand the forecast. We'll take a look at your health, wealth, love, and destiny. So let's start with your health card. Health includes mind, body, and spirit. I'll turn the camera down so you can see as I shuffle, and we'll take a look and see what kind of message is coming through for you this month. So this is the second Lovers card or love card that we have in the reverse state. I'm going to pull it upright for a second, let you look at the other one as well. Nearly identical. Also really interesting that both of them show an intertwining. That's not always the case in Lovers cards. So what I'm kind of looking at from this is it's important this month when it comes to emotional entanglement. Are you feeling so much a part of somebody else that you don't know where you start and they begin? And can you focus a little bit this month on really just tuning into your own energy? Because your central card was one of self-worth, the Ace of Pentacles. In your ego, we had a balancing of energies. And over top of that Ace of Pentacles card, we had the Two of Swords, which also shows balancing. So there's some sort of an imbalance, and you may be giving way too much energy to somebody else, giving away some power. And this can actually tax out your body, your hormonal system. But in the long run, what happens here is the heart center can get blocked up or closed up a little bit. So if you've either shut down your heart because you're afraid of being hurt, or if you're giving too much or you're feeling too much, this part of your body is getting a little bit more work than it needs. So it could also even just be high blood pressure, things like that. It's important to pull back a little bit from these external stressors this month. Not put as much as you have been in some of the relationships. Love yourself, truly honor yourself. And sometimes when I have a counseling session, a one-on-one, people will reveal that, you know, if they're in a relationship, it's not working out, they may actually talk about the fact that they don't think they deserve this person, or they don't love themselves, or they're not happy with who they are or how they look. I want you to really find some qualities about yourself that you find really either something that you can celebrate or appealing, or something that you just think is good, because I'm feeling a little sense of, for some of you, a lack of self-confidence or self-worth. So I think that will help. For others of you that are solid in who you are and what you can give, it could just be that the other person in your life may not be recognizing that, or you're giving too much. Balance it out. Be kind to yourself. Do acts of kindness, getting a massage, going and getting a physical, eating well, sleeping well. Take care of yourself. It's going to be good for your heart. And pay special attention to your heart, because all of these love cards have to do with that part of your body. For me, it's really the heart, the lungs, and just cardiovascular system here. But if you haven't gotten a physical in a while, check that out and see where it's at. All right, let's take a look at wealth now. Wealth includes not just money, but your relationship to money and your relationship to your self-worth. Let's see what the card has to say. So we have a message card. The message card is reversed, and this is showing have a clear idea and a clear communication when it comes to your expectations and also your feelings about money this month. What this is really showing is mixed messages. You could be receiving mixed messages about money. You could also be sending them. So if you're sending them, be clear on what you expect from other people. If you have roommates and they're not all paying the rent, this can be about saying, hey, this is part of the responsibility of being here, and you need to pay that on time. If it's someone in your life and they're not contributing, or they're spending too much, or you feel like you could contribute more, this is just about being honest and having a clear conversation. If someone in your life isn't giving you the information or the clarity that you need, this is about asking and really being strong enough to just go in there and say, we need to talk about this. I'm not comfortable with X, Y, or Z, and kind of getting through all of those components so that you have a clearer idea of what's going on with this, and so that there's no ambiguity. The clearer, the better when it comes to money this month. Let's take a look now at love, remembering that love can include all types of relationships in your life, not just romantic. I'm really curious how this might relate to the 6 and the 8 of Cups. All right, it says, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. You'll notice that the two words that are really emphasized here are peace and real. And I want you to believe that there really is a chance to achieve that peace in in all of your relationships this month, particularly if there has been some sort of a disconnect. Either peace because you realize that this isn't something that you need or want anymore, or just a decision in your mind and your body that I'm no longer going to fight with this person. I'm going to put my energy somewhere else. And I think that's really the lesson in relationships this month, is try to find a place where you feel at peace, feel at ease. If you don't, step away and put that energy into something else, because it feels like there's a bigger and greater love on the horizon for some of you, or a chance to let go of the habits of constantly sort of cutting each other down and go towards something much, much better. Whatever it is, the choice this month is to really embrace peace. And not to go towards the lower frequencies of frustration, anger, or again, trying to hurt someone. Always the better path to be kinder and to embrace peace. Let's look now at destiny. The way that I frame up destiny in this spread is it's malleable. It's showing you where you're headed, but you can change it. So let's see what the message is about this. It'll either be one that is supporting your path or giving you sort of a course correction. Of course, it's all about free will, so you decide what to do with this card. So fearless, don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. And it really brings everything full circle. We have the frog and we have the sort of angel wings here in fearless. You really have to take a chance on yourself. Let's go ahead now and review everything that we talked about. We'll begin with the channeled information. As I was tuning into your sign this month, I got this sense of a reset, out with the old, in with the new. And if you do this, it opens up this chance for you to kind of reinvent yourself. To start over. But you first need to let go of all those trappings in your life, the things that are kind of pulling you down. This could be thoughts, clothing, people, situations, habits. This is a month to make and break the new habits, but to do so, you have to let go of things. When we looked at your catalyst, I've showed you this a few times today, we have the frog. It was reversed. Don't be afraid to take that leap. It's trying to bring you into a better space. I'm going to turn the camera down now so that you can look at all the cards as we review everything. Again, the center theme here is, or I would say the central theme starts around worth, both self-worth and also your money. We have the Ace of Pentacles at the center, and then a card showing a big decision regarding money. There's also, for some of you, a need to put more out than that is coming in this month. So you may need to ask for help, you may need to take a loan, you may need to reevaluate all of your assets and liquidate something. We have the Chariot in reverse. I mentioned about looking at mechanical vehicles and moving parts this month. You're really going to want to make sure that everything is taken care of. Some of you may decide to let go of something like a car or a boat or a larger investment of that nature. Focus on yourself this month. It's okay sometimes to do that. This is also the color of relationships, but it's centered in the heart. And when we looked at that peace card, I think that's really why the heart space is coming in. It's trying to heal the relationships in your life. So we're not getting a typical third chakra card here. We're getting a fourth chakra card, even though the colors are that of the third chakra. As we look at near future and also environment, it's all about healing relationships and healing cycles. You get to either choose to continue the cycle or let it go. Balance is important. We talked about that at great detail. Also looking at the money overall and realizing that the sooner you face whatever is going on in your life, whether it's spending a little bit more or saving a little bit more or doing something to get more on track, this is going to put you in a good place. I think some of you are going to seek out the help of a financial advisor or perhaps a family member or someone that can help you with that. Now, when we're looking at your health card this month, it's love, but love is talking about your heart space, and as I was having issues earlier, kind of getting the words out, speaking your mind so that you can clear the energy that might be trapped here. With respect to wealth, it's important to be transparent. Say what's on your mind. Ask others for clarity if they're not providing that clarity. In love, believe that peace is a real option, and also have faith in yourself. Faith that you can make it through anything. Faith that you have what it takes to bring in new love if that's something that you would like as well. Finally, for destiny, we have a card here that simply says to be fearless, to trust yourself, to take that leap, and that brings us back full circle with the frog. So hopefully you got what you needed this month. We'll talk a little bit at the end again about framing this all up for you, but I feel like the big opportunity this month was to take a chance, to take a leap of faith, and to really push through some of the relationship issues that showed up. If you ever feel like you would like to chat a little bit more about what's going on in your life, about some of your intuitive development, I'm more than happy to talk to you. All you need to do is click on the first link right below the video, and you can check out my rates and availability, and you can schedule a session there if that works for you. If you'd like to give back, I highly encourage that. This is just like NPR, so the more you give, the more I can give. Whether it's one time or recurring, it makes a big difference, and again, you can get that in the second link. But I understand that's not within everybody's reach, so if you can't do that, then the next best thing is to like, subscribe, and share. And you can also join me across social media. Besides YouTube, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I have a newsletter as well. All of those methods are a great way to stay in touch, and much appreciated. Finally, I like to end every video with a little bit of gratitude. I am really grateful for all the work you guys continue to do on yourself, developing your skills, developing your sense of internal sort of power and confidence. And I really think that's the story for Libra this month, because this opportunity that is on the horizon for you does require a sense of self-confidence and self-worth. Your ability to be happy within a relationship starts by being happy with yourself. And I think that's the relationship to focus on this month, is creating a sense of love, joy, appreciation, and respect for yourself. If you do that, then your heart space is going to open, your throat is also going to open, you'll be able to communicate and feel more when it comes to future relationships and opportunities. So really start that work on yourself, and it's going to pay off tenfold. That's all for this month. I hope that, again, you got what you needed. Wishing you much love and light now and always. Continue to shine brightly, and I'll see you again next month. Thank you so much.